Marjorie Taylor Greene knows that there's going to be life after Trump, and she is setting herself up to be the recipient of his base, and she is driving a wedge between him and the people who voted for him. And she's on one of his favorite networks calling him out. Donald Trump said something that she instantly rebutted. She's been going hard on this stuff. She was at a press conference earlier today with Democrats and MAGA conservatives to talk about the release of the Epstein files. Here's Donald Trump responding to that, and then I have Marjorie Taylor Greene's response to this after it.
Any friends or donors, sir? So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at D.C. right now, D.C., it's a totally safe zone. It's called a safe zone. That's a term. It's a term of art. It's a safe zone because it's very safe. You can walk down the street now and nothing's going to happen. No crime, no murders, no nothing. Because we had a lot of problems with certain places, and we still do. All run by...
Baby, okay, so he just goes online there, but his brain is cooked. He cannot stay on a topic for more than 20 seconds, and then he really can't even... He was going to try to say a place in D.C., but he can't. Regardless, it's beside the fact. We'll do another video on that and how Donald Trump's brain is literally frying in real time. But Marjorie Taylor Greene responded directly to the president calling this a hoax. Before I show you that, I want to show you, this is how petty he is. So the president of Poland visited the White House today, and they had first off, it's so stupid. They had a flyover in honor of the president of Poland coming here. But he did it because he wanted to interrupt the Epstein press conference. And here's that.
Department of Justice telling me that this was going to happen when it had already happened. This woman abused children.
So absolutely petty. So petty. If you are here and you are supporting these survivors, please do hit like on this video. If you want to make sure more people see it, do hit like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing because we are trying to get this message out to as many people as possible. Now, as I said, Donald Trump called this thing a Democratic hoax. Not true, but Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene actually pushed back on that on one of his favorite networks.
Today he called it a hoax while these women were speaking out and they were saying, we're not a hoax, we're human beings. And I think we need to see something turn around there.
You know,
and I'll say this, Eric.
He can prove it's a hoax by releasing it. Let us decide if it's a hoax or not. I mean, I love everything they're doing. I'm MAGA through and through.
Well, I just want to finish up on one thing. It's not a hoax because Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted pedophile. That takes away the whole hoax things. It's not a hoax. It's not a lie. And on that note, Eric, every Republican should be able to sign on to this. And that's the real hoax, that they're afraid to sign on to it because somebody who is a real coward from one of the Trump admin officials came out and called this a hostile act against the Trump administration. And I take very big offense to that because I put my life and my fortune on the line fighting to get that man elected. And whoever said that has their job because of people like me that fought all the horrible Republicans that stabbed him in the back after January 6th. And I was one of those that fought on the front lines and said, no, he is the leader of our party. He is the president, and we're going to make him president again. Well, that coward attacked me and attacked anybody else and called it a hostile act. The hostile act was Jeffrey Epstein raping 14-year-old girls. That was the hostile act, and it's not a hoax.
Damn. I'm going to tell you this. That is a smart woman. You're not going to like hearing that? That's smart because she knows that Donald Trump is weak on this issue. She knows that Donald Trump, whether he's going to stay in power for 3.5 years or it's going to be sooner, She knows that there's going to be a moment where Donald Trump no longer is as powerful as he is today, and she's setting herself up to be the recipient of that base. It is incredibly smart what she's doing, and Donald Trump really can't counter this. This is the one thing that him and his base are completely divided on, because as we know, Donald Trump is implicated in these files. Donald Trump is 100% implicated in these files. That's why he doesn't want to release them. If Donald Trump knew that there was nothing wrong with the files, he would put them out tomorrow. He would have put them out yesterday. But there's something in there. There might be many things in there that show the president in a bad light. Now, we don't know what that is. We can assume, we can guess. Where my mind runs to, it's nowhere good. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing something that I hope other Republicans realize they can do too, is that they can drive a wedge between him and his base. This is very interesting. Lauren Boebert also is pushing back.
I think anything anybody wants to see is the list. We want to see the list, period.
So this ain't going away, baby. They try to give us a month-long thing, a month-long break from it, but it's not going away. And here's Marjorie Taylor Greene at the press conference saying why.
Can you imagine how terrifying it would be to name names like that? These are some of the richest, most powerful people in the world that could sue these women into poverty and homelessness. Yeah, it's a scary thing to name names, but I will tell you, I'm not afraid to name names. And so if they want to give me a list, I will walk in that Capitol on the House floor and I'll say every damn name that abused these women.
Now, I actually interviewed Rep. Ro Khanna, who organized this press conference and who is has a bill out that could release all the files immediately. They just need 2 more Republicans to sign on. A link to that will be below in the description, so please do check that out. But we're going to keep following this, so do please stay tuned here. And I want to just change gears for a second, because there's a beautiful thing happening in Maine. We have many great Democrats running against Susan Collins. She should be concerned. And I just got word that someone new has announced. His name's Dan Cleveland. He's running for Senate in Maine. Check him out. As I said, we're going to bring you every single candidate that comes out, and you can make the decision for yourself. But here he is, and a link to his donate page is below. See you next time.
Before all this, brewing beer was just something I did to hang out with my brother. I gotta say, some of it was pretty bad. But what really left a bitter taste in my mouth was when the Great Recession hit and the big banks went under. They collapsed our economy and walked away with no consequences. And hardworking Mainers, they lost their homes, their pensions, and struggled to get by. I was angry at the big banks. I wanted to do something. So my brother and I, we set out to prove you could run a successful business by doing what's right. We promised ourselves that anybody we hired would get a living wage, employee health care, fully paid, profit sharing, and a retirement plan. So we went for broke. My wife, Beth, cashed in her 401k, and we started Maine Beer Company. Today, I'm proud to say we kept our promise to the more than 100 Mainers we employ, and we're partners in our community to help build a better Maine. We do what's right. It's what my grandma did when my mom got sick, and she helped us out. And it's what my brother and sister did, looking out for me after my mom passed away. Because of them, I got to live the American dream. But Mainers need some breathing room to do the same. I'm Dan Cleveland, and I'm running for U.S. Senate because politicians in Washington, they're making it harder to do what's right for Maine. Donald Trump is trampling on the values of Mainers and tearing this country apart. And Susan Collins, she's been in Washington for 30 years. She stopped looking out for us. She lied about protecting abortion rights. And she refuses to stand up to Donald Trump when it really matters. Enough is enough. I'm not a career politician. I'm a husband and father who loves his family. Right now, our country's at a crossroads. And just like when I started Maine Beer Company, I feel a responsibility to do what's right. I hope you'll join us.